seconding motion 24.
Thank you, Chairperson. Comrades and friends, I am delighted to speak in support of Motion 24, which approves the ambitious political reform agenda of the Government and which looks forward to the early enactment of legislation to register lobbyists, protect whistleblowers and indeed to advance the work of the Constitutional Convention. On the legislation, as Minister Howlin has said, we must bring forward this legislation early. With the publication of the Mahon report, we are all only too aware of the need to regulate the practice of lobbying. And we are also aware of the need to protect whistleblowers. We owe them a great deal in this country. If Tom Gilmartin had not come forward as he did, we would still not be aware of the true extent of the corruption that within Fianna Fáil in particular, the corruption that had such disastrous consequences for the planning of our towns and our cities and the quality of life of our citizens. But I want to focus on the Constitutional Convention. Like many of you here today, I was in Galway 2 years ago at Labour Conference when Eamon Gilmore set out the Constitutional Convention idea as part of Labour's ambitious programme for reform. I was hugely excited then at the prospect of a comprehensive review of the 1937 Constitution and of many of the articles within it, articles that hark back to a different Ireland, an Ireland where, as the Taoiseach memorably put it, the swish of a soutane smothered conscience and humanity and the swing of a thurible ruled the Irish Catholic world. This was an Ireland where the abuse of children was downplayed or disregarded to protect the primacy of the dominant church. But we are in a different country now. We are in the Republic of Ireland in the 21st century, and we need a constitution that is genuinely republican in the true sense, that reflects the diversity of our population and that no longer bows the head in genuflection to the ideologies of a dominant church, a church whose own members, majority of them, no longer believe in its fundamental tenets, as we saw in a major survey published this week. So that is why I was so excited at the prospect of the Constitutional Convention, and that is why, comrades and friends, I urge you to ensure that this convention is not weakened or neutered or diluted. I was disappointed to see that some of the measures which are to be considered in the Constitution, such as provision for same-sex marriage and removal of the outdated clauses on women in the home, are not to be included in the early work of the Convention, and rather we are going to see it considering the presidential term of office and the reduction of the voting age. I urge you, comrades, that instead of this piecemeal approach, we should be looking for a return to the original Labour idea of the Constitutional Convention, a convention that would bring about genuine change in accordance with Labour's proud record of progressive political change that Brendan Howlin so eloquently outlined. We are making progressive change in this government. We have seen progressive change on the minimum wage, on the universal social charge, on gender quota legislation, and just this week with Minister Rory Quinn's report on the Forum on patronage and pluralism, we're seeing change in the primary school sector. We need to ensure, in conclusion, comrades, that the Constitutional Convention will too bring about real and effective and progressive change in our country. I urge you to support the motion. Thank you.